On a distant planet called Zephora, far away in the Andromeda Galaxy, a team of alien scientists was busy with their research. The planet was covered in purple mountains and glowing rivers, and the air shimmered with faint sparks of light. Among the scientists were Zoltron, a tall blue-skinned creature with 3 eyes and long arms, and Finla, a small, bright green researcher with sparkling wings. Both were known for their curiosity and love for exploration. Their mission was clear: travel across galaxies, study new life forms, and report anything unusual to the Galactic Council. They had studied thousands of species before, some harmless, some intelligent, and some capable of strange powers. Yet nothing in their experience prepared them for what they were about to discover. One day, while scanning a remote sector of the Milky Way, Finla noticed an unusual signal on her monitor. She leaned closer, her wings fluttering nervously. "Zoltron, come and see this. These readings are unlike anything we have ever seen." Zoltron turned his many eyes toward her screen. The signal showed a small blue and green planet. The readings indicated rapid life activity. Thousands of small creatures were living on the surface, multiplying quickly, and adapting to changes faster than any species recorded before. "Impossible," Zoltron said slowly, his voice trembling. "No species in all known galaxies can reproduce this fast and remain so healthy. Look at the way their numbers grow every day." Finla's antennae twitched. "Yes, but it is true. Their population is increasing without signs of weakness or disease. They survive storms, floods, and even attacks from other species. This is remarkable." The two scientists debated their next step. Their commander had strict rules: observe from a distance and avoid contact. But curiosity is a powerful force, and both Zoltron and Finla wanted to know more. Finally, they decided to send a probe into the planet's atmosphere. The probe was small but powerful, equipped with cameras, scanners, and translation devices to understand languages if possible. The probe entered the atmosphere and began transmitting live images. What the aliens saw amazed them. The planet was covered in green forests, flowing rivers, and sprawling cities full of tiny creatures. These creatures were humans. Some were walking, some were running, some were working, and others were caring for their young. Families gathered in small homes, sharing food and laughter. Communities worked together to build structures, farms, and schools. Zoltron could not believe his eyes. "Finla, look at them. They cooperate. They grow together. And their numbers. The speed of their growth is beyond comprehension." Finla nodded, her wings sparkling with excitement. "It is not only their growth that is amazing. Look at how they survive in different environments. They build shelters, find food, and protect each other. Their intelligence is remarkable, but combined with their rapid reproduction, they are extraordinary." Zoltron adjusted his instruments to measure their health and energy levels. The readings shocked him further. Humans recovered quickly from injuries, could endure harsh conditions, and maintained high energy for long periods. Even in extreme heat or cold, they continued their daily lives without any special tools or powers. Finla leaned closer. "Their biology alone is incredible, but I think there is something more. Something about the way they live together, help each other, and grow as a society gives them strength. Their power is not just in their bodies, it is in their cooperation and care for one another." The aliens decided to watch the humans for several weeks. They observed small communities in different regions. In some areas, humans were farming, growing food in neat rows, and sharing it with neighbors. In other regions, humans were building homes, schools, and marketplaces. They even created places for learning and sports, showing a desire not just to survive, but to thrive. During one observation, Zoltron noticed a family caring for a sick child. The parents worked together, giving medicine, comfort, and love. Despite the child being weak, they never lost hope, and the child's health improved quickly. Zoltron whispered, "Finla, see this. They do not just survive individually, they survive as a group. Their unity strengthens them. That might explain their rapid growth and resilience." Finla smiled. "It is not only unity. They also seem to enjoy life. Even in hard times, they laugh, play, and celebrate. Happiness seems to give them energy, and energy seems to support their survival." Zoltron was silent for a moment, studying the data. If our calculations are correct, humans could become one of the most widespread species in the galaxy. They multiply fast, adapt faster, and their intelligence allows them to create tools and societies that protect them. We might be witnessing the rise of a species that could surpass many known civilizations. Meanwhile, humans on Earth continued their daily lives, unaware of the alien eyes observing them. Farmers tended their fields, children played near rivers, teachers instructed students, and families prepared meals. Even though humans faced challenges such as storms, floods, and shortages, they found ways to overcome them. They shared food, helped neighbors, and celebrated small victories together. One day, Zoltran and Finla decided to focus on human innovation. They watched as humans built bridges, machines, and cities. They were amazed at the humans' ability to create tools that made life easier and safer. Finla whispered, "Zoltran, look at their creativity. Even species with advanced powers in other galaxies could not match this level of invention. They combine survival instincts with innovation, and that is rare." Zoltran nodded. "Yes, survival alone is not enough. Many species survive but do not grow, adapt, or multiply at this rate. Humans do all three. Their growth is biological, social, and intellectual. That combination is unprecedented." Over the next few weeks, the aliens compiled thousands of data points. They studied human behavior, reproduction, health, problem-solving skills, and social interactions. Every observation confirmed the same conclusion. Humans were extraordinary. Their population increased steadily, their health remained strong, and their communities flourished. Finla looked at Zoltran one evening as they watched a family celebrating a festival. "Zoltran, I think we have underestimated the potential of this species. They are not only fertile in numbers but fertile in spirit. They inspire growth, not just in themselves but in others. That is a power we have never recorded." Zoltran nodded thoughtfully. "You are right. Humans are unique. They are the most fertile creatures we have ever seen, not only in biology but in resilience, intelligence, and cooperation. We must report this to the Galactic Council. They will be shocked." As they prepared their report, Zoltran and Finla realized something more profound. Humans were not trying to conquer the galaxy. They were simply living their lives, building communities, learning, and growing. Their strength came from simplicity, love, and persistence. That combination made them powerful beyond imagination. Even as the aliens left their observation post, they kept their eyes on the planet. Humans continued their daily routines, unaware of the attention they received. Children laughed in fields, families shared meals, and communities helped each other. Every small action contributed to the humans' strength, resilience, and growth. Zoltran turned to Finla. "We have witnessed something rare. A species that multiplies, survives, adapts, and thrives without seeking dominance. They grow naturally, and their strength is in unity, care, and innovation. The galaxy will never see anything like this again." Finla smiled and nodded. "Yes, humans are not just life forms. They are a lesson for all species. They show that growth and survival come from cooperation, care, and love. That is their true power." And so the aliens continued to observe, amazed by the humans of Earth. They had discovered a species unlike any other, a species that thrived not by strength alone but by the bonds they shared and the communities they built. Humans, simple yet extraordinary, were the most fertile creatures in the galaxy. The discovery was just the beginning. The story of humans and their unique power was about to spread across galaxies, changing how other civilizations saw life itself. After weeks of careful observation, Zoltran and Finla realized they could no longer remain hidden. The humans were extraordinary, and they wanted to study them up close. The Galactic Council had strict rules against interfering with other species, but curiosity and excitement filled the two scientists. They believed that understanding humans firsthand could teach them something new about life itself. One quiet night, they prepared a small spaceship for descent. The ship was sleek, silver, and equipped with holographic technology that allowed the aliens to appear as humans. Zoltran activated the disguise, taking the form of a tall man with kind eyes. Finla chose a cheerful appearance, small and friendly, with bright hair and a welcoming smile. As they entered Earth's atmosphere, the city below sparkled with lights. Cars moved along glowing roads, and small houses dotted the landscape. Humans were walking, talking, laughing, and going about their normal routines. The aliens were amazed by the simple beauty of these lives. "We must be careful," Zoltran said, his voice calm but tense. "Even though humans seem peaceful, we cannot underestimate them. Any mistake could cause fear or confusion." Finla nodded. "Yes, but look at them. They live in harmony, cooperate with each other, and show care in ways we have never seen before. Observing them up close will teach us more than any instrument or scanner. They landed the ship in a quiet park on the edge of the city. The park was filled with trees, flowers, and small ponds. Children ran around playing games while adults walked or sat on benches chatting and enjoying the evening. Their first encounter was with a small family. The parents, a man named Rami and a woman named Nora, were sitting on a bench watching their children play. Zoltran and Finla approached slowly, maintaining a friendly posture. "Good evening," Finla said in careful human speech. "We are travelers and would like to learn more about your species." Rami looked surprised but smiled politely. "Good evening. You are welcome here. What would you like to know?" Zoltran and Finla explained that they were researchers from a distant galaxy, curious about human life, growth, and social behavior. Rami listened attentively, nodding. "Humans are simple in some ways but complicated in others. We live with families, communities, and friends. We try to care for each other and build our lives together." Finla asked, "How do humans survive in such large numbers? Other species we studied cannot maintain this many individuals without conflict or disease." Nora smiled gently. "It is not only biology. Humans survive because we support each other. Families, neighbors, friends, and communities help us when life is hard. We share food, care for the sick, teach our children, and celebrate together. That support makes us strong." Zoltran wrote notes quickly. "Support, cooperation, and social care, combined with reproduction. This may explain the unusual growth rate we observed." "Fascinating," Rami added. "Humans also love to learn, explore, and create. We make tools, buildings, and machines to make life better. We study, teach, and invent new ideas. That growth is not just physical but mental and social," Finla whispered to Zoltran. "See how they combine survival, reproduction, and creativity. That is rare in any species. Most species survive or adapt, but humans thrive in all areas simultaneously." Over the next few days, the aliens visited different parts of the city, always in disguise. They met other humans, each with unique talents and stories. They watched teachers instruct children, doctors care for patients, and builders construct homes and bridges. Every interaction amazed them. Zoltran observed a school where children were learning about planets, plants, and animals. The teacher, Sarah, encouraged the students to ask questions and explore ideas. "Curiosity is important," she said. "It helps us understand the world and find new solutions to problems." Finla was fascinated. Even from a young age, humans are creative and adaptive. Their minds are trained to grow as much as their bodies. This combination of intelligence and fertility is unmatched. One evening, the aliens observed a festival in the city. Humans were dancing, singing, and celebrating together. Families shared meals, neighbors laughed, and children ran freely through the streets. The aliens realized that joy and celebration were not trivial. They were part of human strength. Happiness, laughter, and connection created energy that supported growth and survival. Zoltran said, "Their biology is extraordinary, but their social and emotional systems enhance their survival. They are not just fertile, they are resilient, intelligent, and cooperative. That may explain why their numbers increase so steadily." Finla added, "It is inspiring. Humans survive challenges without power or advanced technology. They face natural disasters, sickness, and accidents, yet they recover quickly and continue building their lives. Their spirit is remarkable." The aliens also observed how humans handled conflict. Disagreements occurred, but most humans sought understanding, compromise, and peace. Even in disagreements, they communicated, negotiated, and maintained bonds. Zoltran noted, "Conflict does not destroy them. It teaches them to adapt, solve problems, and grow stronger as a community." One day, they watched a community rebuilding after a storm. Homes were damaged, trees were down, and roads were blocked. Yet humans came together without hesitation. Neighbors helped neighbors, volunteers assisted families, and the community worked tirelessly to restore what was lost. Zoltran whispered, "Their cooperation is a key part of their resilience. Each individual contributes to the survival and growth of the whole." Finla smiled. "Humans are extraordinary in every sense. Their fertility, survival, and growth are not just biological. They are social, emotional, and mental. That combination is rare and powerful." Zoltran and Finla returned to their spaceship at the end of each day, filled with awe. "We must report this to the Galactic Council," Zoltran said. "They will be shocked to learn about a species that grows in numbers, adapts quickly, survives harsh conditions, and builds strong communities, all at once." Finla nodded. Yes, but I hope they do not see humans as a threat. Humans are not violent or aggressive. Their strength comes from care, cooperation, and creativity. They thrive without seeking dominance. Over time, the aliens learned more about human culture. They discovered art, music, literature, and science. Humans expressed ideas through painting, writing, and music. They explored the world with curiosity and imagination. Zoltran realized their growth is not only in population but in knowledge, culture, and creativity. Every human contributes to the strength of their species. The aliens also observed families raising children. Parents taught values, knowledge, and skills. Communities created schools, libraries, and play areas. Children were encouraged to explore, ask questions, and learn. This environment of learning, care, and encouragement created a cycle of growth, resilience, and intelligence. Finla said, "No other species we studied prepares their young so carefully for life. Humans combine care, education, and support in ways that guarantee their survival and development." As days turned into weeks, Zoltran and Finla grew more amazed. They realized that humans were unique not just in reproduction, but in every aspect of life. Their growth, survival, creativity, and cooperation made them the most fertile and resilient species the aliens had ever observed. Finally, Zoltran turned to Finla one night while observing the city from above. "We have discovered a species unlike any other. Humans are not just survivors. They are builders, thinkers, and caregivers. Their fertility is remarkable, but their spirit is equally powerful." Finla nodded. "And they do all of this naturally. They do not need external power, weapons, or special abilities. Their strength comes from community, knowledge, and care for each other. That is the true power of humans." The aliens knew that their discovery would astonish the galaxy. Humans were not only fertile biologically, but their emotional, social, and intellectual abilities made them capable of thriving in any environment. Zoltran and Finla decided to continue their study, learning as much as possible while respecting human freedom. Humans, meanwhile, continued their lives, unaware of the alien attention. They laughed, built, taught, learned, and cared for one another. Every small act of kindness, every shared meal, every lesson taught to a child contributed to their strength. The aliens realized that this simple, everyday life was the true source of human power. And so Zoltran and Finla watched humans with awe and admiration. The species they had discovered was unlike any other. Humans were fertile not only in numbers but in resilience, creativity, cooperation, and spirit. The discovery of humans marked the beginning of a story that would soon spread across the galaxy, showing other civilizations the unique power of life on Earth. After weeks of careful observation, Zoltran and Finla were more convinced than ever that humans were extraordinary. Their fertility, resilience, and creativity were unlike any species they had studied. Yet the aliens wanted to understand the full extent of human abilities. Observing from a distance was not enough. They needed a controlled environment to study humans more closely. Zoltran proposed an experiment. "If we create a safe environment similar to Earth, we can observe humans without interference. This will allow us to understand how they adapt, learn, and thrive in different conditions." Finla agreed, her wings fluttering with excitement. "Yes, we can replicate their planet's atmosphere, gravity, and resources. Then we can study their social behavior, intelligence, and growth in detail. This will reveal the true strength of their species." They set up a large laboratory on their spaceship. The chamber was enormous, filled with artificial sunlight, flowing water, plants, and small structures resembling houses and parks. Every detail of Earth's environment was recreated carefully. The aliens wanted humans to feel comfortable and natural so they could observe their true behaviors. To invite volunteers, they sent mysterious messages to a few humans on Earth, offering an opportunity to study a new scientific experience. 3 humans accepted: Tariq, a young engineer, Lena, a teacher, and Omar, a farmer. They were curious and open-minded, excited to explore something new. When the humans arrived, they were amazed by the spaceship's interior. It looked like a small Earth world, complete with trees, grass, streams, and comfortable homes. Despite being in a completely alien setting, they felt safe and began exploring with curiosity. Zoltran and Finla observed from a distance, disguised as humans to blend in. They watched closely as Tariq, Lena, and Omar adapted to the environment. The aliens were astonished. Within hours, the humans were learning the layout, building small tools and organizing tasks efficiently. Their adaptability was incredible. Even in a completely new environment, they adjust quickly, Zoltran whispered. They do not hesitate, complain, or become anxious. Their minds are focused and their bodies are ready to face any challenge. Finla nodded. Observe how they interact with each other. They communicate, divide tasks, and solve problems as a team. That is rare in any species. Cooperation increases their efficiency and strengthens their bond. The aliens began testing human adaptability. They simulated different weather conditions, changed the terrain, and introduced minor challenges. Every time the humans responded calmly and intelligently. They built shelters during heavy rain, found alternative water sources when rivers dried, and created pathways when terrain became difficult. Zoltran recorded every detail. Their survival instincts are excellent, but their intelligence and creativity amplify their abilities. They do not rely on instinct alone. They analyze, plan, and innovate. That is what makes them remarkable. Finla focused on social interaction. She observed how the humans cared for one another. When Omar hurt his hand while building a small structure, Lena quickly treated the injury. Tariq offered support and suggested ways to make the tools safer. Their teamwork ensured that no one suffered for long and that everyone continued contributing to the community. Finla whispered, even minor challenges bring out cooperation and care. Their social bonds give them strength. This is not common among other species. Many species survive individually but fail to thrive as a group. The aliens also studied human learning and creativity. Tariq began building a small water system using pipes and channels to distribute water to plants. Lena created a simple school area where she taught basic skills to the other two. Omar experimented with planting different crops and designing better tools. Zoltran was amazed. Even in a small group, their productivity is extraordinary. They grow not only in numbers but in knowledge and skill. That is part of what makes their species so fertile and strong. Finla added, look at their curiosity. They do not fear failure. Every mistake is a lesson, and every lesson is an opportunity. Their minds are constantly expanding, just like their population. That combination is powerful. The aliens continued their study over several weeks. They introduced mild challenges, observed emotional responses, and analyzed physical endurance. Humans recovered quickly from minor injuries, adapted to different tasks, and maintained high energy levels. Their health remained strong, even with long hours of work and exploration. Zoltran could hardly contain his excitement. We have studied thousands of species. None combine fertility, adaptability, resilience, intelligence, and social cooperation as humans do. Their potential is beyond our calculations. Finla looked at the humans laughing together while repairing a small shelter. They gain energy from each other. Their social interaction, care, and encouragement create vitality. It is as if their connections make them physically stronger. That is unique. The aliens decided to study human reproduction in a controlled way without interfering. They observed human families, noting the care and education provided to children. Parents nurtured, taught, and encouraged their young. The environment they created allowed children to explore, play, and learn safely. Zoltran whispered, even their reproduction is carefully supported. Children are not only born but raised in a way that ensures survival and growth. That is why humans maintain strong populations without strain. Biology and social care work together seamlessly. Finla added, their energy, curiosity, and adaptability make them more fertile than any species we have studied. Numbers alone do not explain their strength. Their spirit and community amplify it. One evening, the humans organized a small celebration for their successes. They decorated their shelters, shared food, and sang songs. The aliens watched, amazed at how simple joy strengthened bonds and encouraged growth. Zoltran said quietly, even happiness contributes to their power. Humans thrive not only on survival but on joy, cooperation, and mutual care. Their growth is biological, social, and emotional. That is unprecedented, Finla smiled. It is inspiring. They face challenges with courage, adapt quickly, learn constantly, and support each other. That combination ensures their survival and growth anywhere. The experiment continued for months. The humans explored every corner of the artificial environment, repaired structures, solved problems, and supported each other. Zoltran and Finla recorded thousands of observations, each confirming the same conclusion. Humans were extraordinary. Zoltran finally turned to Finla one night while observing the humans resting after a long day. We have witnessed something remarkable. Humans are the most fertile and resilient species we have ever studied. Their growth is not just in numbers but in knowledge, social bonds, and emotional strength. Finla nodded. Yes, and they do it naturally. They do not seek dominance or power. They grow, thrive, and care for each other without external pressure. That is their true strength. The aliens realized that humans were not only biologically exceptional, but also socially and emotionally advanced. Their ability to thrive in any environment, support each other, and maintain high energy and creativity made them a species unlike any other. As the humans continued their daily routines, Zoltron and Finla prepared their report for the Galactic Council. They knew that the discovery of human abilities would astonish the galaxy. Humans were not just survivors, they were builders, thinkers, caregivers, and innovators. Their fertility and strength were unmatched, making them a species that could thrive in any condition. Even in the artificial environment, humans displayed the same traits that made Earth remarkable: curiosity, resilience, cooperation, and joy. The aliens understood that this combination was the source of human power and potential. Zoltron whispered, "We have much to learn from them." Humans are a reminder that strength comes from care, community, and perseverance. Their growth is natural, sustainable, and extraordinary. Finla added, "They are the ultimate life form in terms of fertility, adaptability, and spirit. The galaxy will never see anything like them again." And so the experiment continued. Humans explored, learned, built, and cared for each other, while Zoltron and Finla observed with admiration. They realized that the species they had discovered was more than a biological marvel. It was an inspiration. Humans thrived through unity, intelligence, creativity, and love. Their story was only beginning, and the aliens were witnessing the first chapter of a species destined to leave a mark across the galaxy. News of the aliens' discovery reached the Galactic Council within days. The council was a gathering of representatives from hundreds of planets, each species bringing its knowledge and experience. When Zoltron and Finla presented their findings, the council chamber buzzed with astonishment. Zoltron began his report, projecting images of humans, their cities, families, and communities. "Honorable members of the council," he said, his multiple eyes reflecting the chamber lights, "we have discovered a species unlike any other. Humans are capable of rapid reproduction, adapt to harsh environments, and maintain extraordinary health. Their population grows steadily without strain. This is unprecedented." Finla stepped forward, showing footage of humans cooperating, building homes, farming, teaching, and caring for one another. Their strength is not only biological. Humans are socially and emotionally advanced. They thrive through cooperation, care, creativity, and joy. Every individual contributes to the growth and resilience of their species, the council members whispered among themselves. Many had studied species across galaxies, but none had seen anything like humans. Some feared that such a powerful species could become a threat to the galaxy. Others admired humans and recognized their potential for teaching valuable lessons about life and growth. Vornak, the council leader, spoke first. "Are you saying that humans are capable of reproducing faster than any species we have recorded and can survive in any environment without significant aid?" Zoltron nodded. "Yes, Commander Vornak. They do not require advanced technology, extreme power, or weapons to thrive. Their growth is sustained by biology, intelligence, social bonds, and emotional strength. Their species multiplies and adapts naturally, and they learn continuously." Another council member, Irina, a wise and calm alien from the planet Solara, raised a concern. If humans continue to grow at this rate, what prevents them from spreading beyond their planet and dominating others? Could they become a threat to galactic balance? Finla responded, "Their nature is not aggressive. Humans thrive in community, not conquest. They grow, cooperate, and explore out of curiosity and creativity, not domination. Their strength comes from care, not power." The council debated for hours. Some species argued that humans should be closely monitored or even contained. Others insisted that humans could become allies, offering insights into resilience, cooperation, and innovation. Every discussion emphasized the same point. Humans were extraordinary and unlike any species they had encountered. Zoltron presented additional data, showing how humans recovered quickly from injuries, maintained high energy, and adapted to unexpected challenges. Finla added examples of human creativity, education, and culture. Humans build societies that protect, teach, and strengthen individuals. They combine biology, social structure, and intelligence in a way that ensures survival and growth, she explained. The council members were silent for a moment, absorbing the implications. Fornak finally spoke, his voice calm but filled with awe. We have studied thousands of species, but humans are unique. Their strength is not just in numbers, but in their mind, heart, and spirit. They grow together, care for each other, and thrive even under challenges that would destroy other species. We must consider the lessons they offer. Zoltran continued. Their fertility is unmatched, but it is enhanced by emotional and social bonds. Happiness, cooperation, and mutual care create energy that supports growth. Humans thrive not only in biology but in every aspect of life. Finla added, they face storms, floods, and accidents. They innovate, build, and teach. They learn from mistakes, solve problems together, and never lose hope. That combination makes them the most resilient and fertile species in the galaxy. The council members were astonished. They realized that humans' strength was not based on domination, weapons, or technology. Humans thrived because of unity, creativity, and persistence. Their survival depended on cooperation, education, and emotional support. This approach was revolutionary for the galaxy. A council member from the planet Zephoria, Lomir, raised a question. Can such a species remain peaceful as they grow stronger? How do we ensure they do not disrupt other civilizations? Zoltran answered carefully. Humans have no desire to dominate. They grow naturally, care for their families, and explore out of curiosity. Their power is constructive, not destructive. They inspire growth in others rather than seeking control. Finla added, if other species observe humans, they could learn cooperation, resilience, and care. Humans show that true strength comes from unity and support, not aggression. Their existence is a lesson for all civilizations. Over the next few days, the Galactic Council invited experts from multiple planets to study human data. Scientists, historians, and philosophers analyzed videos, reports, and simulations. Every study confirmed the same result. Humans were extraordinary. Their fertility, adaptability, creativity, and social intelligence were unmatched in the galaxy. Council member Irina summarized their findings. Humans are a species of remarkable potential. Their strength lies not in conquest or aggression, but in care, knowledge, and creativity. Their growth and resilience make them a species to respect and learn from. They could change the way we view life itself. Meanwhile, on Earth, humans lived unaware of the galactic attention. They continued building homes, working in fields, teaching children, and caring for each other. Their simple daily lives, full of cooperation and kindness, were the true source of their strength. Every small act, helping a neighbor, teaching a child, sharing a meal, contributed to the resilience and growth of their species. Back in the council chamber, Zoltran and Finla emphasized one final point. Humans are not only biologically fertile, but fertile in knowledge, culture, and social bonds. They are capable of surviving challenges, thriving under harsh conditions, and inspiring growth in others. Their existence is a model for life in the galaxy. The council concluded that humans should be observed respectfully. They decided not to interfere with Earth, but to monitor the species discreetly. Humans were allowed to grow and thrive freely, their example spreading as a lesson for other civilizations. Zoltran and Finla returned to their spaceship, reflecting on the extraordinary discovery. We have witnessed something truly unique, Zoltran said. Humans are the most fertile, resilient, and inspiring species in the galaxy. Their growth is natural, constructive, and remarkable. Finla nodded. They do not seek power, yet they grow stronger every day. They teach the value of care, unity, and perseverance. Their lives are a lesson for every species we have encountered. From that day forward, humans became a quiet legend among the stars. The aliens who observed them shared stories of their cooperation, resilience, and creativity. Other civilizations looked to humans as an example of life at its purest, thriving not through domination, but through unity, learning, and care. Even as humans laughed with friends, learned new skills, and nurtured families on Earth, their reputation spread silently across the galaxy. The strength of their species was not in conquest, weapons, or technology. It was in the bonds they formed, the knowledge they shared, and the joy and care they offered to one another. Zoltran and Finla realized that humans were more than just a discovery. They were a message. Strength does not come from power alone. True power comes from cooperation, learning, emotional support, and perseverance. Humans embodied all of these qualities, and in doing so, They became a species that could inspire life across the stars. The Galactic Council, once skeptical, now admired humans. They recognized that this simple species from a small blue planet had unlocked a formula for survival, growth, and happiness that other civilizations could only hope to achieve. Humans were not just fertile, they were extraordinary in every sense. And so the story of humans spread across galaxies, reaching the ears of scientists, leaders, and thinkers on distant worlds. Their example inspired cooperation, creativity, and care among many species. Humans, unaware of their growing fame, continued their simple lives. They laughed, built, learned, and nurtured, each small action contributing to the strength and resilience of their species. Zoltron turned to Fenla one evening, looking at the glowing earth below. "We have discovered something rare and beautiful. Humans thrive because they care, learn, and grow together. Their fertility is not just in numbers, but in the life, joy, and knowledge they share." Finla smiled. "Yes, they are an example for the galaxy. Their story is only beginning, but their impact will be felt far beyond their planet. Humans are a reminder that life is strongest when it grows together." And so the aliens watched, fascinated and inspired, as humans continued to live, learn, and thrive. The galaxy had discovered a species unlike any other, a species whose fertility, intelligence, and unity would become a beacon for all who studied them. Months passed since Zoltron and Finla first reported their discovery of humans to the Galactic Council. The two aliens had continued their observation of Earth, learning more each day about the unique strength of humans. Every detail, from small gestures of kindness to large community projects, revealed why humans were truly remarkable. The Council, after much discussion, agreed on one important decision. Humans would be left to grow freely without interference, while other civilizations would quietly observe and learn from their example. Humans, after all, were not seeking power or conquest. Their strength lay in care, intelligence, creativity, and cooperation. One evening, Zoltron and Finla watched from their spaceship as humans in a small town celebrated a festival. Families gathered in streets decorated with colorful lights. Children ran happily, laughing as they played games. Adults shared food, music, and stories. Even in simple ways, the humans showed a sense of unity and joy that amazed the aliens. Finla whispered, "Look at them. Even in celebration, they grow stronger. Joy and cooperation are part of their power. Each smile, each gesture of kindness strengthens their community." Zoltron nodded. "And that is why they survive and thrive in every environment. They support each other emotionally, socially, and physically. Humans are fertile not only in numbers but in spirit." The aliens reflected on what they had learned. Humans were biologically capable of rapid reproduction, yet their true strength was more than physical. They nurtured families, taught children, shared resources, and built communities. Each action reinforced their resilience, intelligence, and adaptability. To understand this better, the aliens observed a human school in the city. Teachers encouraged children to explore ideas, ask questions, and solve problems creatively. Children were taught not only academic knowledge but also social skills, empathy, and teamwork. Every student learned how to cooperate, care, and innovate. Finla smiled as she watched. Even from a young age, humans are trained to be strong, resilient, and creative. Their social and emotional education contributes to their growth as much as their biology does. Zoltron added, "Their communities provide safety, knowledge, and support. That combination makes humans more than just fertile in numbers. They are fertile in ideas, skills, and culture. No other species we have studied achieves this naturally." The aliens also observed humans helping each other during challenges. When a sudden storm damaged homes, neighbors immediately assisted those in need. Food was shared, repairs were made, and children were protected. Every act of cooperation reinforced the community and contributed to the survival of the species. Zoltron whispered, "They thrive because they care for each other." Strength does not come from weapons or power, but from unity and compassion. That is what makes humans extraordinary. Finla added, "Their resilience is built into every part of their lives. Every challenge becomes a chance to grow, learn, and innovate. That is why they multiply, survive, and succeed in ways no other species can." Over time, Zoltron and Finla realized that humans' intelligence was also a crucial factor. Humans invented tools, machines, and technologies to make life easier. They explored their world, solved problems, and created solutions that improved their communities. Their curiosity drove progress, while their cooperation ensured that knowledge spread quickly. The aliens observed a group of humans working together to build a bridge over a river. Each person had a task and they supported one another. Children helped in small ways, learning from adults. Skills were shared freely and mistakes were treated as lessons rather than failures. Finla whispered, "Even physical strength is enhanced by teamwork. Humans grow stronger by helping each other. Their intelligence, cooperation, and effort combine to make them capable of achieving anything they set their minds to." Zoltran added, "That is why the Council decided to allow them to grow freely. Humans are not a threat. Their power is constructive, not destructive. They inspire growth, not fear." As weeks turned into months, the aliens compiled extensive records of human life. They analyzed family structures, education systems, community projects, problem-solving methods, and social interactions. Every observation reinforced the same conclusion. Humans were remarkable beyond calculation. Zoltran and Finla discussed their findings one evening. "We have observed thousands of species," Zoltran said, "but humans are unlike any other. Their combination of fertility, intelligence, social bonds, creativity, and resilience is unparalleled." Finla nodded. "And they do it naturally. They do not seek power, domination, or control. They live, learn, and support one another. And in doing so, they grow stronger every day. That is the true power of humans." The aliens also noticed that humans' influence extended beyond their communities. When they shared knowledge, resources, and culture, it encouraged growth in others. Ideas spread quickly, inspiring new inventions and improvements in society. Even small actions had lasting effects, creating a ripple of progress and cooperation. Zoltran said, "Humans are fertile not only in numbers but in thought, creativity, and culture. Every individual contributes to the growth of the species as a whole. That is why they thrive anywhere and everywhere." Finla smiled. "And that is why they inspire the galaxy. Other species can learn from humans. They show that strength comes not from aggression, weapons, or domination, but from cooperation, care, learning, and creativity." One day the aliens observed a family teaching children to plant crops and care for the environment. The children learned responsibility, teamwork, and respect for nature. Their curiosity was encouraged and their successes were celebrated. Zoltran whispered, "Even their relationship with nature shows their uniqueness. They respect their environment, learn from it, and adapt without destroying it. That balance between growth and care is rare in the galaxy." Finla added, "They thrive in harmony with their surroundings, with each other, and with their ideas. That combination makes them fertile not just biologically but socially, emotionally, and culturally." As humans continued their daily lives, their reputations silently spread across the galaxy. Scientists, philosophers, and leaders from other planets discussed the unique qualities of this small blue planet's inhabitants. They admired humans for their fertility, resilience, cooperation, creativity, and care. Zoltran and Finla realized that human strength was an inspiration. They had discovered a species that could thrive without seeking domination, that could grow through cooperation, and that could survive and innovate in any environment. Humans were a model of life at its best. Finla whispered one evening, "We have seen something extraordinary. Humans teach us that true power comes from care, knowledge, unity, and perseverance. Their fertility is not just in numbers but in life, creativity, and spirit." Zoltran nodded. "And they do it naturally, without needing special abilities or power. Their simplicity, kindness, and curiosity create growth that no other species can match. Humans are a reminder of what life can achieve when it works together." The aliens continued to watch, inspired by every small act of humans. Parents teaching children, neighbors helping each other, communities celebrating together. All these actions strengthened the species in ways beyond measurement. Even as humans remained unaware of their growing galactic reputation, their lives created ripples across the universe. Other civilizations observed, learned, and reflected on the lessons humans provided. Unity, care, creativity, and perseverance became the benchmark for understanding true strength. Zoltran and Finla finally prepared their last report for the Galactic Council. They summarized their observations. Humans were biologically fertile, socially advanced, emotionally strong, and intellectually creative. Their resilience and growth made them capable of thriving anywhere. Finla concluded, "Humans are a species that grows through cooperation, knowledge, and care. Their strength is constructive, their influence inspiring, and their existence extraordinary. The galaxy has never seen anything like them. Zoltron added, their story is only beginning. Humans will continue to grow, learn, and inspire others. They may remain unaware of their fame, but their power and influence are already reaching far beyond their planet. They are the most fertile creatures in the galaxy, in every sense. As the aliens returned to Zephora, they looked back at Earth. Humans continued their lives, laughing, learning, building, and caring. Each small action contributed to the growth of their species and the strength of their communities. Their fertility was not only in numbers but in ideas, culture, cooperation, and spirit. Finla smiled. We have discovered more than a species. We have discovered a model of life itself. Humans show that true growth comes from unity, care, knowledge, and perseverance. Zoltron nodded. And that is why they will remain a wonder for the galaxy. Humans are not just survivors, they are builders, thinkers, creators, and caregivers. Their story will inspire generations of species across the stars. And so, humans continued their journey on Earth, simple, yet extraordinary. The galaxy watched silently, learning from their example. Fertile in numbers, creativity, and spirit, humans became a symbol of life at its best. The aliens, Zoltron and Finla, had witnessed something unforgettable. A species that thrived naturally, inspired others, and taught the galaxy the true meaning of strength and growth. Humans were not just a species, they were a living lesson,